So we have a game here that's against Yveltal EX, Garbodor, and well, Fright Night. Our opponent's gonna take here a little bit long to decide, the coin flip. But this match here, like I consider dark matchups favorable for this version of Pidgeot. If you're playing Turbo Pidgeot, then I don't know how that works because I don't play Turbo Pidgeot. I kind of play the slow control version, which in my opinion I feel is the strongest version of the deck. So for those who are looking for a way to make Pidgeot more consistent, don't do that. Look for ways to make it more inconsistent. And I promise you, you will have a lot of fun with this deck. So we win the coin flip and we go first. And of course we go first. This here is the straight Pidgeot EX build. So we're not running the Mega Pidgeot. And the reason I'm playing this build here is so I can figure out what I want to do with my Mega Pidgeot build. The way things are looking now, I might take out a Mega Pidgeot and put in another card or something. It's really completely different because both decks are completely different, and even though we're kind of playing them the same way, like this build not having Mega Pidgeot, the Spirit Links, or the Shrine of Memories gives me so much more room for other interesting cards. And while I do like this build, it's a little hard to play considering it loses to like Mega Gardevoir if they get a Rattata down. But we do play wow, Silent Lab, so we could do things. So here we go first, and I want to get my Remoraid down so I can get some things. We see we have the Bundle B in the deck. I'm just checking to see if there's anything else in here. One of our Remoraids are prized, and that sucks. So right now I'm just kind of going through my cards that are going to allow me to win this game, trying to figure out where things are. And the way things look as of now, it doesn't look like we're really missing too much. But the thing that I caught was that we prize 2 basic metal energy. And that's going to be super difficult to deal with, considering we only play 8 energy in total. But we just go ahead and play the Remoraid and end our turn. We don't play the Burst because we have the Octillery guaranteed next turn. It's not like our opponent can do anything. The worst that can happen here is our opponent ends us and gives us +2 cards, which is great because we want to be able to see more cards by having to play cards of our own. And that's exactly what he does. He attaches a DCE and ends. And we get a lot of hammers. Now, the interesting thing that I noticed with playing hammers is that you don't want to be reckless when you're playing them. Hammers is a tails fails effect, but I consider crushing hammers a win more card, considering if you're in a favorable position and you flip heads with it, you're going to be in an even greater position. And even if you're behind and you manage to land like 1 or 2 hammers, it's going to put you in a decent position as well. So I get into an unplayable hand. My last hand had Octillery and a Burst, so I wouldn't be able to do something with that. So we get into this mess here, and we can't do much or nothing. So we just play the DCE and play the Hex Maniac. So that's going to slow him down a turn since we are slow as well. If he wants to try to do something, he's going to have to play like an N or a Sycamore. So he just attaches his Darkness energy, and that's fine. He passes his turn. We top deck an Ultra Ball, which is great. So we just go ahead and dump the Pokemon Center Lady and the Brox, so that way we can get our Octillery into play, draw 2 cards, and then go from there. So we should Abyssal Hand. Or we're just checking our resources. So we Abyssal Hand. We don't want to play the Crushing Hammer because our opponent can't really do anything to us. So we just kind of want to sit on them and have them for a turn where we could do the most damage with them. Because right now we can't really do much damage with them. I mean, we could maybe discard an energy on the active, but I want him to have to attach a DCE to it and go from there. I want him to be scared of playing energy. And I want him to kind of play energy so we can kind of figure out where we want things to be. But our goal here is to hold on to the hammers, save them when we need them, and then try to work out a strategy. Because right now, we're kind of playing off the momentum of hammers. If we can get a Crushing Hammer, then it opens up another play. So he's going to play Max Elixir, and he hits like 3 of these in a row. It's super impressive. And this would be scary if he was playing like against any other deck. Like against me, if he wants to dump a bunch of energy, that's fine. I don't care because I mean, we don't really have much energy in play. And if Yveltal EX wants to drop a giant evil ball on us, then he's going to have to hit us for his base damage. We max potion, play an energy, and can knock him back out as well. So we just see all the max elixirs coming down, and he's not missing any of them. But that energy goes on Fright Night. So I'm just like, wow. He plays Enhanced Hammer, and that's super annoying to see because that pretty much tells me now I have to be able to do something. I can't just play my double colorless energies down like I want to. And considering we prize 2 basic energy, most of our energy is going to come from, double colorless energy. And he probably has another enhanced hammer and a team flare grunt somewhere. So I have to be careful in where I play things. And we top deck a metal energy, which is great. So I'm trying to decide, do I want to play the max potion or not? I just say screw it. I'm gonna play the max potion. I'm gonna attach my energy, and we're gonna play some hammers this turn. Because right now we have a mirror move for 60. So I'm trying to decide, do I play the enhanced hammer first or the crushing hammer? It doesn't really matter, but we're just looking at the cards. So we drop a hammer just to see if we get heads on it. Because if we do, then it opens up plays, obviously. And we want to play our hammers this turn so that way we have a bigger abyssal hand to work with. So we play our first hammer, we get heads. So now I'm trying to figure out where I want to discard this energy. Yveltal EX isn't really that big a deal for me right now. But we just say, you know what, we would want to go ahead and just control this thing right now because they can get big. We drop the enhanced hammer, discard from the active, and our opponent says the angry face. Because, that is annoying, losing 2 energy in a turn. So we decide to not play this other crushing hammer because we want to hold on to it for when we really need it. So we just go ahead and Abyssal Hand for 3. We get a Fighting Fury Belt. That's going to go on the active, and we're going to play this Birch here. We get heads once again, and we get a lot more cards. So we got Pidgeot, and we drew into our Bunnelby. I wanted to play the Bunnelby, but I decided to go against that because I didn't really want to play it down. He attached a DCE, Lysander out the Bunnelby, and knock it out, and then we don't have a way to recover additional resources. Plus, Bunnelby doesn't have to be on the bench, so we just hold on to it, and we just mirror move for 60. Since Fright Night is in play, the Fighting Fury Belt doesn't have an effect, so we don't get the additional plus 10 damage, which would have been nice to have. But he's still within knockout range. And he plays a Trainer's Mill and gets the Team Flare Grunt, which is super annoying because part of my next plan was to attach that DCE, hit this Yveltal with the almost Night Spirit, put 20 on the Yveltal EX or something, and go from there. So he just kind of ruined our plan there. So I just say screw it. I'm just going to play the Bunnelby down, have it there for when we need it, and we probably are just going to play that double colorless energy on the bench Pidgeot because we don't want it in the active spot, for just in case he has like a versus Seeker, he can grab that Team Flare Grunt. So let's see what we do here. I'm pretty sure we attach that DCE. It's shaking. It's like, I'm right here. You can play me. We could play that DCE. Is that with a nope? Because end our turn. All right. So I mean, I'm at no real fault for it right now because we could potentially draw into a max potion. So we always have that energy in our hand when we need it. And considering he does play hammers, it would be annoying. Like right now, he played 1 enhanced hammer and 1 Team Flare Grunt, which we kind of knew he had just based on the fact he had a hammer in the discard pile. And since most decks play 2 enhanced hammers, there's probably a second one lying around somewhere, so we don't really want to give him too many opportunities to hit us with that. And we draw some interesting cards here. We get a Silent Lab. That's going to turn off Fright Night or any Shaman play. We also got a Pokemon fan club. I'm pretty sure we dropped that so we could try to see if we could grab a Remoraid, but it's not there. So we just grabbed 2 Pidgeots because why not? I would have liked a second Remoraid, but they don't ever seem to be around when I need them. That's alright though. We got the Bunnelby, so we can be able to do things. We will play the stadium, and we drop the Fighting Fury belt on the Pidgeot, and we Abyssal Hand for one. A Crushing Hammer. And that's fine. We just end our turn. No need to play hammers right now. That Yveltal on the bench is getting extremely big. But our active Pidgeot has 220 HP, so he needs a lot of energy to do something with that. And he has 2 DCEs in the discard pile, so he potentially has another 2 somewhere. And he just versus Seekers for another end. So our hand is constantly being refreshed this game. And it has been helpful, because anytime we get to see additional cards due to our opponent's effect, it is great. So we see a Max Potion and 2 double colorless energies. Something that's interesting, to say the least. Friday Night is still there, and that Yveltal is just getting bigger. Right now, he's doing 100 damage to us. So we're trying to calculate the damage that he's going to do to us versus what we can do back to him. And we top deck a Team Flare Grunt, which is a nice card. So we are trying to keep our damage within a decent range, but having double colorless energy does not make that easier for us. So we attach a DCE to the bench Pidgeot, and we just end our turn. I mean, we don't really have to play any of these cards. If the Fright Knight didn't have the Float Stone, then we might have played the Team Flare Grunt to discard that Darkness energy. But since it does have it, it's not going to do any good trying to stall it. And he attaches another energy down to it. And now it's starting to get scary, because it's doing 120 damage. We put a DCE on this Pidgeot here. It'll do 140. And we're just still drawing in the DCEs. It's pretty bad. I mean, we would have much rather prized the DCEs over the basic metal. But, what do you do? We're counting the damage here. He's doing 120 just on his end alone. We attach that DCE to the active Pidgeot, and he retreats to it. We could take 140 damage. But, I mean, at this point, we really need to try to do something, because we want him to hit us while the damage is still manageable. So we're checking our resources right now. We are down 2 Enhanced Hammers and a Crushing Hammer. So we can't discard any more DCE guaranteed. So we just attach the energy to the active Pidgeot, and we want to see if we can bait this Yveltal EX to the active spot to hit us, because that's what we want to do. And I think he understands that's what we're trying to do, but he plays the Enhanced Hammer. So this is his second Enhanced Hammer, which means we don't have to deal with him anymore. Yveltal probably doesn't play with Puzzle of Times. You just never know nowadays. People always put these really awkward cards in the deck. Like, I'm the king of playing awkward cards. I mean, we're playing Pidgeot EX for crying out loud. But when I see somebody else playing awkward cards, it's like, really? Are there actually people in this world just like me? And he just gets everything. And I'm looking at my hand here, and it's like, you know what? We're going to Lysander out this Yveltal EX. We're going to force it to do something. And that's not something that you would ever want to do in any other deck, is to throw out a Pokemon and make your opponent hit you. So that is an extremely aggressive move to me. But I really don't want that Yveltal sitting on the bench, doing things. So he's going to play another Yveltal EX. And this here is probably where he's just going to do Y Cyclone. He does 100 damage to us. And he's going to move a Darkness Energy back to the bench Yveltal EX. Now this here is at the point where we know our opponent is wanting to do something that he doesn't want to. And that's great for us, because he doesn't want to use Y Cyclone. He wants to get giant Evil Balls and knock us out of the game. So I'm trying to figure out what to do here. We just decide to play the end. Maybe we can hit a Max Potion and an Energy. And we don't hit the Energy, but we do hit 2 Puzzles of Times. And we immediately look into our discard pile to see if we got any energy in there. And we have 2. So that is great. Seeing the way our opponent has been very hateful towards our special energy, we're just going to play the Puzzle of Time, grab a Max Potion in that basic metal. Because, I mean, we have DCE for days, but we don't have basic metals. And basic metals are going to be hard for him to deal with. So we do that. It's a little annoying here, because we had drawn the energy. We could have saved the Puzzle of Times for hammers. But, it's fine. We Abyssal Hand for 1. And we get a Birch. And we Mirror Move for 110 damage. So we are in a great position right now, because Yveltal can't knock us out in one hit, and he has to attack us. So if he wants to save energy, he would have to discard 2 energy, move it back to the bench, which might be favorable for him, because, I mean, we can't knock it out if we do Lysander. He saves energy, but he's going to hit us again. He's going to move that back to the bench, and we are going to hit him again, and that's going to cost him 3 energy. We play the max potion. No reason not to. We heal all the damage. Now we're trying to decide whether or not we want to play the Birch or the Sycamore. We know a Remoraid is prized at this point, and we're probably not going to ever need another one in this game, considering we're at 17 cards left in our deck. And shuffling everything back into the deck could potentially let us see cards we don't want to see. Like, we don't want to see Magearna. We don't care for the Octillery. I kind of want to save the Lysander, but we haven't played a Versus Seeker yet this game, if you have been paying attention. So, at this point, it's probably not costly to discard any of these cards. Like, there are no important resources here. We don't have our energy retrievals, we don't have our max potions, we don't have anything like that. So yeah, we could just play these cards and get rid of all of them, and we draw more cards. We still didn't hit a Versus Seeker. That's kind of odd. Maybe I should have checked to see if those were prized. But we do hit the energy, and we will Mirror Move for knockout. And we got that energy reset too, which is incredibly nice. We got a Crushing Hammer in hand with a Team Flare Grunt. So even if this Yveltal here hit us, we can play the hammer, potentially discard the energy on it, and play a Team Flare Grunt, remove all his energy from play, and then leave him stuck for something. So I mean, this is great for us right now. We are in a fair position, and our opponent just forfeits the game. And ideally, this is how every single dark matchup goes. So we get our versus reward prize and go from there. They said they were increase the amount of rewards you get today for things, but we just got a ticket, and that doesn't do me any good, like, at all. So this build right here, like, it's super fun, and we're going to show the deck here in the deck list, but I have had fun with this deck, and it's been doing great. I like the pure Pidgeot EX build, but it does have its problems. Like, you rely on fighting Fury Belt, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you come across a Mega Gardevoir deck, then you pretty much auto lose. Every time they get a Rattata down, they discard your energy. I am willing to see where this build goes, and I really do like Pidgeot with Octillery than I do with the Garbodor. But as you can see here, this here is the list that we opt to run with. I didn't really have a time to test Bunnelby because we never really get to use it. But in theory, if we have a free turn, we can shuffle things back into our deck, like these Puzzles of Time and whatnot. But this here is the list that I've been playing with this, and it has been doing me some good. So if you want to try it, then go ahead. And as always, I want to thank you all for taking time to watch my videos, and I hope to see you all in the next one.